Hello. If you haven't been on Instagram today, you will not know this yet, but I'm totally caught up. Check it out. Very excited. Okay, we have so many things to stitch still. Okay, so we're gonna do these three today. We're gonna do these the same and this the same. I was gonna do the same stitch for all three and it wasn't working. So we're doing these two and this one. And I forgot my iPad. Hold on. I've been just keeping it at the table, but I had to plug it in. So let's stitch. Okay. So we are going to do some new stitches, which I forgot what they're called. Hold on. Okay, so I have this book that I love, The Right-Handed Embroiderer's Companion. There's a left-handed embroiderer's companion as well, but it's fabulous. And anyways, there's tons of stitches in here that I want to try. I just never have the right time to do it. So today we're gonna do a couched burden stitch and a couched trellis. That's what we're gonna do. So they look like this and this. It's gonna be a good time. All right. Now, when we did the original colors, we just used the brown 3864. So you can do, well, and even with the funky colors, you can do all of this one color or you can do multiple colors. I'm going to do multiple colors just because it's more fun. So I'm going to use on this part here, I'm going to use 3810 and 550. And then up here, I haven't decided. I kind of think I want to do the 3810 with the 606. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. We're going to do this one first. All right. So we're going to do a couched burden stitch first. And I'm trying to remember how many strands I was using. 3. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So we're going to start with three strands of the 3810 and go from there. All right. Let me get my needle out. Okay. You could also do, depending on what color, you know what? I think I'm going to do purple in the background and the turquoise on top. Hold on. I'm going to start with the 550. Whatever is on the background will not be seen as clearly. It's more of just like a background color. So, sorry, let me get my 550 out. I forgot. Hang on, separating strands. I guess you can watch me do that. I've got 4 here. Okay. Oh my gosh, this fly season has been insane. There is flies everywhere in my house. Okay. We need a good freeze to kill all the bugs. Okay, So what we're gonna do first is just lay down some straight stitches across here. I'm not gonna do it quite on, like, I'm gonna go up a little bit from the bottom, just a little tiny bit, because then we have some room to lay down our stitches. And then what we wanna do is keep these, oh, that is right against that, isn't it? That line is not. I'm gonna move it up just a little bit more. Okay. Yep, that's about where I want it. So I like to just pull mine across so I can see where it's gonna go, and then I'll put it down so that I know that it's gonna be straight. And then I'm gonna come up just a little bit, about there. And then make sure that it's parallel. So maybe down a little. And then lay that down right there. And then we're gonna do the same thing, just all the way up. We wanna make sure that these are gonna lay, are they gonna be the same distance apart? And here, maybe a little bit higher. Yep, right there. This is the only way I know how to get straight lines. I struggle with straight lines if I do it a different way, so this is what we're gonna do. Let's go up just a little tiny bit. Okay, there we go. So that is where we're starting. I'm gonna tie off this purple, and then we will do some couching. Where are my scissors? Okay. So I'm gonna stick with the 3 strands that I did there. You could do more if you wanted. It's not gonna ruin anything. If you do more strands, you'll do fewer stitches. So what we're gonna do is do a couching stitch over this line. But what we're gonna do is, I actually wanna go from the top. This is on an angle, so it's not quite at the top, but what we're gonna do is do a stitch just right over the top. Hold on, I pulled that tail through. Just a second, that's gonna bug me. Because then I can't see. Okay. So what we're gonna do is just do a little tiny stitch right over the top. Oops, that was not straight. The next one will be straighter. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go right up to this line, and we're gonna do a little bit of a gap between each of these. Oh, that might bug me too much. So we're gonna go from the second line, just below it, to just over the purple line to kind of cover it up. And then we're gonna leave just enough space to do a stitch between them. So I'm going over a little bit because we'll do another stitch right here to go over this other purple line. I probably should have used more strands. I'm gonna start over. I think that's gonna be too thin. Let's see what 6 looks like. I think I did 4 when I was practicing. I've just been using like thread scraps, so I'm not 100% sure what I was using. Trying again. All right, so I've got my 3 strands, but I've tied the 2 ends together, so I've got 6 strands. And then we'll start again. Okay, so that first one is gonna go there. And then we'll come up. And do one there. Yeah, that's better. I like 6 strands. This one takes a little while, but the end result is really, really fun. Now, if you don't want to spend the time doing this, you can satin stitch this, you can split stitch it, you can watch one of the old videos and do a basket weave. That's what we did last time. I think it was day 6. This gets more exciting when we have more than one row done. I long and shorted it. Yeah, you could do long and short stitch for sure. Especially if you like long and short stitch. Yeah, Chris is really cute. I've seen it. All right, one more. And then we will do the next row. Okay, so then the next row will go between the first and the third rows. I'm just doing a little one right there to fill this in. And then we're gonna go on top of the first stitch and right below the third row. So you go right over the top of that second purple row and you just stitch it between the first and third. So it fills that space. These are not very straight. Yeah. I felt like it kind of looked like Jack Skellington's mouth, like a scar stitched, like a, you know what I mean? An incision stitched up. I thought it was really, really fun for a haunted house. Those lines are crooked. I'm gonna do, let's see how much I can get done before my thread runs out. And then we will do the other section. Okay, so then this next set will be above the second row of purple and below the fourth row of purple. So we're just couching that third row of purple stitches. I think I'll be able to finish this row. And then I'm gonna run out of thread. Barely. Look at that little tiny piece. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do in both triangles. Pick your colors and go for it. Now, if you want them a little bit closer together, you won't have as much negative space. I spaced mine out a little bit too far, which I'm not worried about, but if you're worried about it, do them a little bit closer together. Not necessarily your rows, but your vertical stitches, if you do them a little bit closer together, you won't be able to see the purple as much, but you also won't have negative space. I wasn't too crazy with the long and short because I had a ton of gaps. However, I went back over it with a couple of threads to fill it in more, and it really helped. Yeah, yours looked really good. I wouldn't worry about it at all. Long and short is, I feel like it's one of those that you either are like really great and love it, or it's like a little bit of a struggle. My needle is not going to fit through there. I didn't cut all of them. Hold on. Almost got it. This thread is too short. There we go. Okay. Look, that's all that's left after tying the knot. Okay. So that is called the couched burden stitch. Now we're going to do a couched trellis. There's a couple different ways to do this. So I'm going to do half of it one way and half the other, just to show you both, because one is a little bit more intense and the other one is a little bit easier. So we'll have something a little bit more beginner and a little bit more intermediate. But you have to decide what colors you want to use. So I'm going to use the 3810 and the 606. So then it like matches my tower. Let's see, how many strands did I use? This is 3 and this is 3 also. Okay. I think I'm going to go with, because it's not quite as thick as I would have liked. So I'm going to do 4 strands of the 3810 first. And then we'll move on from there. Okay. So either way, however you want to do the stitched or the couched trellis, we're gonna do some perpendicular lines. So let's go back to math class. So parallel lines are 2 lines side by side that never meet, parallel. Perpendicular are crossed at like a 90-degree angle. So we're gonna try and keep these as straight as we can and as straight as we can to get that trellis shape. Okay, so I've got 4 strands. I'm gonna start up a little bit, and we're gonna do similar to like we did with the purple. So we're gonna do some straight lines first, and then we'll go back and do some vertical lines. I'm gonna do these just a little bit closer together than I did. Well, maybe the purples were this close too. All right. So both versions are gonna have these perpendicular lines. So we're gonna start there and then we're gonna do our horizontal ones. Now we wanna keep the horizontal or the vertical ones the same distance apart as our horizontal. So we're creating like as perfect a squares as we can. So I'm gonna come up just a little bit more. Right there. Okay, and then we're gonna go here, I think. We're just laying these right over the top. We're not worried about leaving them or anything like that. We're gonna, whoops, sorry. A little bit further out. I'm gonna try that one again. Your house sounds very quiet today. It is. Yeah, the kids are at school. It's very quiet here. And my husband is out working in the garage, so it's just me and the flies. They're just they won't die. Sorry, this is the boring part. I need to go over just a little bit. I can get a lot done when my house is quiet. It's very nice. I feel like today is way better than yesterday. I was posting on my other account yesterday that it was the Mondayest Tuesday ever, and then I burnt dinner. Okay, so now we have our trellis. So now we're gonna do some couching stitches on top of it. Now I'm not gonna pull this off yet. What I like to do is just come over on the edge and just like pull it out of my way because I'm not done using that. We're gonna do some more on the second version of the couched trellis. So I don't wanna do it yet. I'm just gonna leave it there for a minute. I'm just gonna do a couple rows of the regular, like of the couched trellis one way, and then we'll do it the other way. Okay. So I'm gonna get 3 strands of the 606. Once you see this, if this is the one you decide to do, you could do these a little bit closer together. There's gonna be quite a bit of negative space on this one. But I wanna be able to show you what I'm doing without them being too close together. I hate flies too. I was a teacher for years and had a fly killer as one of my classroom jobs. It was one of the most coveted jobs. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. My husband bought one of those salt, S-A-L-T, like table salt guns to get the flies. It works really good, but now there's salt all over my house. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do just a tiny little X over each of these spots that the threads intersect. So we're gonna go choose whichever way, either top left to bottom right or top right to bottom left. I don't care, whichever way you wanna go first, but keep it the same the whole time. So we're just gonna do one tiny little stitch over the top, and then we're gonna come up and do it the other way and just do this itty bitty X. So cute! And then we're gonna do the next row. And we're gonna do it the same way. I'm starting top left and going to bottom right. But if you wanna start top right and go to bottom left first, that's fine. There's not a wrong way. You can do it either way. So you could also do like a satin stitch below this. Do a satin stitch and then do the like the trellis over the top of it if you want to fill in behind it. The next version of this is more full coverage. But look how cute. Okay, so I'm gonna do this second row and then I'm gonna show you the other way that we can do this. And you don't have to start at the top, just make sure your X's are all going the same way. It'll look more cohesive. These first two rows are closer together than the others. So you could also, like, you could make these bigger if you wanted to keep the hatch, like, you could go and do like a bigger X. That would fill it more. Like that. Traditionally, it's tiny X's, but we like to do things our own way over here, so. There, that would get you more coverage. Let me do this row. Redo. I'm gonna take these out anyways, so I'll just show you a second row looking different. I like it best with the tiny X's, but I'm just throwing it out there. Okay, that one didn't get covered up very good. There we go. Okay, so that's our first option. All right, let me cut that thread. Now, the next option is trying to decide. Gotta pull my 3810 back out. Sorry, I'm threading my needle real quick. And then I'll show you we have to do some diagonal lines in there. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go, let's see, where did we end? Over here. So I'm gonna go from this corner to this corner. We're just gonna connect them like that. So this one to this one. So you see how now we have like more coverage. gonna go back with the red and fill it in, or orange. Orange, red, red, orange. So we're essentially going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I was thinking it was 4 and 4. Okay, so now we've got this situation. I'm gonna leave it there because I wanna finish, I'm gonna take this orange out and finish that in just a minute. So let me get this thread out of the way and get my orange back out. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I did it wrong. I did it wrong. This is another stitch. I mean, this is another way to do it, but it wasn't the way that I decided to do it. Sorry. Don't do diagonal ones. There's so many different variations of this stitch. I'm sorry, guys. Starting over. Rewind. This is one way to do it, but I didn't like it. I didn't like how it looked as much. Okay. Sorry. Ignore that. That was one way I tried it. Didn't love it. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lay down, I'm going to do a row and a line between each of these so that they're a little bit closer together. I'm just going to have to take out this whole thing and redo it. Okay. I want them pretty close together. I think the first and second line might already be close enough. Let's see. They're going to be really close together. I think that's fine. Okay. And then we're going to do some more vertical stitches as well. So these are pretty close together. But we still want to have gaps because we're going to still do some couching in there. Okay. So this is what we've got right now. Now let's get that out of the way. And then we'll get our 606. Okay, so I'm still doing 4 of the 3810 and 3 of the 606. Just getting a knot. And then what we're gonna do is we are going to do just one stitch. We're just gonna do one diagonal line across every other crosshatch. So we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna skip this one, and we're gonna come up here. So we're going to skip on every other horizontal, but we're going to stitch on every vertical. Okay, and then the next row we're going to do it offset one. So we're going to start at the top. So then this will create like a diagonal line of little tiny stitches. See, that's why we don't want them too close together, because it's hard to get our needle in there. then just every horizontal or every vertical line we stitch on, but just every other horizontal. Give us that little pop of color with the orange, but then we get to see most of the turquoise. What do we think? I really like the texture of this one. The pattern it creates when using multiple colors. You could also do your horizontal lines a different color than your vertical lines. But if you're going to do that, I would do it like we stitched it and do your horizontals further apart and then your verticals further apart and then go back over with more horizontal and more vertical so that they're like, or like weave them like every other one so then you can see both. If you would have done it this way first, would you have done all the horizontal stitches and then all the vertical? I still would have stitched every other, because then it creates like those different layers, like because this one's on top and then this one's on bottom. So you could also like do the basket weave, so it's like every other, but that kind of defeats the purpose because this is a little bit faster to do it this way than a basket weave. It ties in with the windows. Yeah. Ouch. I think so too. You're welcome. But I think that this is, I don't know, I think it's cute. Okay. Do you guys have any more questions? Because I'm almost done with these and then I'm going to let you go. Okay, so if you want to do a basket weave, it's day 6 of the original house. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure. But I really want to see some trellises. I want to see some couching, guys. All right, you've got until I finish this last column to ask any more questions. You could also do these as X's if you wanted. You don't have to leave them as just a dash. You could come back and do X's if you wanted. Ooh, that's cute too. I might do this. Look how cute that is. Okay. So whatever way you want to do it, that's how you do it. And then once I'm done doing all of this, I'm just going to outline the whole thing, probably with 6 strands, just so it's nice and thick, with the 3810, and just outline it. But I didn't want the outline there until after because I knew it would get in my way of stitching, but just to like kind of finish it. So there'll be a row above and below. Okay. Amanda loves the X's. Yes. I think the X's might be the way to go. I might go back and finish that, but anyways, okay, let me know if you have questions and I will see you back here tomorrow. We will do the shutters and stuff. So, okay, have a good day, guys. Bye.